Good afternoon, YouTube. Today is January 25th of 2022. I wanted to do an update on our shop car. Kind of left everybody hanging on our last video. We did get it dyno ready, and we did some dyno work on it back, let's see, right before New Year's. But we ran into a couple of issues. Needless to say, we didn't get finished back then, so car came back here, revised a couple of items, and went back and had a successful tune-up on this, let's see, last Thursday, which would have been, I don't know, the 20th maybe. Anyway, still has a 1700cc injector in it, still has a 450, some of you would call it a 285 Walbro fuel pump in the tank, which were kind of our limitations this go around. Similar, actually identical fuel setup to what we had on our last, with our last turbo, which we squeaked, I don't know, dyno number I think was 435 and some change out of that setup at, I want to say 90% injector duty cycle. With that size injector and that pump. So, you know, we basically were just trying to get it back to the dyno this go around to get you know, a shakedown, get it running again, get it, the fuel trims right for this bigger turbo. Changed a couple things since the first time we did run it, one of which was the AR on the turbo. Originally we were getting a little bit too much back pressure, so that was changed. Changed some sensor locations, did some stuff to get a little bit more data out of this thing, you know, as we progress forward towards that 500 horsepower mark. So all that being said, with this setup, with this G30, we maxed out the injector duty cycle at I think at 22 psi of turbo boost. No solid number on that, wasn't really what we were looking for, but you know, that's, I would guess somewhere in the neighborhood of about 450 horsepower to the wheels. So next round of mods here, we're going to change the pump in the tank to a brushless gear style pump, and we're going to put 2600cc injectors in it. Try to get the rest of the try to maximize the rest of the power we can get out of that turbo. You know, when I say maximize, I mean probably 30 psi or less. You can push these things a little bit harder, but you know, this is just a fun car. Not drag racing with it, so 30 psi tune-up. I'm guessing, you know, on a 2600cc injector, it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 70% in duty cycle. Should be hopefully somewhere close to 500 to the wheels, you know, but that's all to be determined. So that's going to be our next round of things we're changing as we make progress on this thing. But I did want to talk about the car itself. I did a fuel door set from Fuel Customs. These are fiberglass doors, real nice. Takes a little bit of work to get them to fit, and a little bit of work to get them prepped, you know, to where you can actually paint them. But you know, overall very nice part. I think the price point is pretty decent as well. It gets this little filler panel in the front corner to close up that gap. So if you look at the driver's side door, you can see where it wraps around, comes down onto the factory plastic door panel. That would typically be open. Now it's enclosed, you know, which gives the car real nice straight flowing line. I think it looks really good. You know, it's just an aesthetic thing. Came with some L brackets. We made a little bit nicer sheet metal bracket to really stiffen this panel up. So you know, this thing's on here now. Installed some threaded rivets, rib nuts, whatever you want to call them, into the factory plastic for the thread engagement on these fasteners. And then there's a nut plate behind these three guys over here. So same part both sides, just a mirror image of each other. powder coated black. I think that tied it together. Plus you don't have that big hole right there that you would with the L bracket. So, you know, I've had a couple buddies do these doors, and that's just kind of my take on it. Nice part. So we also painted this thing a different color. This color is called Hot Lips. It's like a metallic orange base coat with kind of a candy metallic pink over the top, which kind of yields this kind of a dark metallic-y red color. Looks really good. It's impossible to get it on this video, especially outside here, but just changing it up a little bit. And obviously, I think I talked about a lot of the stuff in the back last time. Hess radiator, CBR oil cooler, similar to that silver car we put together for Dawn. Oil temp sensor on the oil outlet right there. You know, this is controlled through Motec on this car. Dash 10 lines, Peterson fluid system, 6-quart tank. And this is our water to air intercooler down in here with a Turbo Smart race port blow-off valve and single charge pipe. I don't know how good I'm getting on video, but hopefully you see it. Over to the turbo, there's our G30, and then there's our titanium exhaust we built here. So kind of loud, definitely a lot louder than it was, but you know, it's cool, looks good, sounds decent. We're just at this point pushing to get out to the dunes, hopefully this weekend, have a little bit of fun with this thing on low boost, just get back in the seat and enjoy the car a little bit, and then we'll be doing some more dyno work. So see where that gets us. What else? Did the Simpson Racing seats black, get rid of the factory ones, and mainly to get the holes for the harnesses. So these fit really nice. If I had to complain about anything, it would be that the hardware supplied with the seat rails they supplied, you know, as standard 1/4-20 threads. I would have really liked it if it was 6mm. That's the only SAE bolt on the whole car. So if I had to nitpick something, that's what it would be. Deleted the e-brake, just like we did in Don's car. You know, basically just made a plate to go under there. Got our switches for our exterior lighting. Gets rid of the handle. We don't have the e-brake on the Packard diff any longer. And that's about it. Let's see, put some Baja Designs headlights in here as well. So I'll have to get those adjusted once we can get out and get this thing into the dark. They look good in there, nice and bright. Did the alternator on this as well, so it's our own design. It's in testing, so we'll get some feedback on that as soon as we get some hours in the car itself. But that's it. Just wanted to show everybody and do an update video for anybody who's been anxiously waiting to see what's going on with this. So hopefully out in Glamis this weekend, and I'll do another video once we do some more fueling updates and get this thing tuned up some more. It should very easily make the power that we want, so should still be pretty drivable. Pretty big difference in setup on a car that makes 400 horsepower versus a car that makes 500 horsepower. So getting that figured out and getting how figured out in the sense of how do you do it reliably, something you can, you know, run for a whole season without any major issues. So, and of course BoostLok clutch setup on here. Talked about that a bunch in other videos. That's still getting the job done, no problem. So keep pushing it and see how far we can take it. I'm pretty sure rotating assembly of the engine or something else is not going to have it long before the clutch decides to slip, but you know, to be determined. Let's see, there's our little coolant bottle we fabricated too, to kind of clean it up, get rid of that plastic tank that was back here. So it's nice, you know, take all the factory plastic off, gives you really easy access to everything you could ever want to get after, you know, even something as simple as changing your plugs or something. You can get to all of that through the back seat area, or actually behind the driver's seat. So kind of nice. Anyway, well, thanks for watching this video, and leave me some comments, and you know, hope to see you guys out there. All right, bye.